I got a new chair. Nothing else made will do me as well as this chair. It's not perfect. It should go faster and ride smoother and maneuver better and weigh 200 pounds less and go 200 miles on a charge. Let's be reasonable, eh? Here's a list of 11 items I pimped on my new chair. Watch the video to the end even if nothing on the list gets your motor revving, because my pimps might inspire you to do something you never thought of. It could be life-altering, right? Probably not. But I'm filling time so you can look at the table of contents without thinking the video stalled. First pimp on the list is longer armrests. Here's the natural position of my arm, but it's hanging in 4 inches of free air. There's about 9 inches of armrest I can't use without wrenching my shoulders by shoving my elbows backward. Here it comes, a hunk of aluminum to the rescue. There's a bracket in there. Permobil nut bars are great. Add some stainless hardware. Get it ready to install on the chair. It took some time to get screws the right length. Install the bracket on the chair. Leave the nut bars loose enough to slide on the armrest. Slide on the armrest. Leave the screws a little loose. Pick a position and tighten the screws. Once again, a hunk of aluminum saves the day. Keep watching. The next pimp is rock lights. These rock lights work great, but the cables are made long enough to wire a truck. On my old chair, the lights were installed using zip ties. All the extra cable was coiled up and zip tied to parts of the chair. It was a mess. My condition has improved since then. I can do better now. For the new chair, shortening the cables took an hour to solder and shrink wrap the wires. Here's a look under the seat. Zip ties mount the right front light, but the controller and 3 of the lights got aluminum brackets. Everything was installed and tested, then the brackets were removed for painting. The rock light controller hangs down from the seat rail. Studs were installed to mount 2 of the light brackets. Jam nuts lock the studs in place. One stud is flush on top, while the other one sticks up for a nut to hold the seat pan. Installing the right rear light is simple enough. The left front light is harder to see what's happening underneath, but it mounts on 2 studs like the right rear light. The left rear light is easy to mount with the seat pan removed. Yippee, they all work! Here's some GoPro footage on a very dark street. Wheelchair phone mounts suck and they want $1 billion for the suckage. I got a better idea. No, you don't have to work for Ford Motor Company to have a better idea. Junk happens. Here's the junk that happened this time. Wheelchair hardware, a hunk of aluminum, cell phone. Do you see a sturdy phone mount in this junk? That's too long. A hacksaw will make it shorter. Much better. Hacksaw again. Cut a smaller hunk from the hunk of aluminum. 6 holes drilled, 2 countersunk and 4 with threads. A trip to Ace Hardware got some screws. Oops, wrong Allen wrench. Drill some holes in a cheap cell phone case and stuff some screws in the holes. Install a bracket in the armrest T-slot to hold the cell phone bracket. Looky here, the phone is easy to install and remove. The height and angle are easy to adjust with an Allen wrench and it's solid, mounted exactly where it's needed. There's no hunks of plastic blocking the touchscreen like other options. With a little fabricating, you can have dash cams front and rear, recorded on a 2-channel DVR. Watch the crossing signal. My turn. Start to cross the street. Oops! Hit reverse and wait for the wheelchair to start backing up. This happens to some degree at most crosswalks. My evasive action is the only thing that keeps me alive. Wedged under the front of that chair with a wheelchair smashed around me? I wouldn't stand a chance of surviving that. This jerk yelled obscenities at me after nearly killing me. USDA grade A asshole. The streets are jammed full of them. Those two videos come from these cameras. One mounted behind an armrest. The second camera is mounted in front. Go to wheelchairghost.com to see sample dashcam videos. You can see how well these cameras perform in different situations. Watch the videos in a player that lets you view front and rear cams at the same time. Watch closely. I'm about to reveal my classified joystick mounting secret. This joystick mounting bracket is functional. It can be adjusted up and down a tiny bit and angled a little. The joystick and switch box are below armrest height. The user's wrist must bend down to operate the chair. The swing-away part and cables hang down far enough to hit my knee. Least important, it's ugly. It's time again to let a bracket out of a hunk of aluminum. Here's the ugly Permobil bracket, for comparison. The Ghost bracket will look better when it's painted black. Needs screws and nuts to mount it under the armrest. The round thingy from Permobil is still needed. Clear the table for assembly. Get the joystick and the new bracket. The round thingy kind of snaps into position. Match the alignment to the joystick and screw it down. Fiddle with it long enough and it will slide into the T-slots. Tighten the screws. Does it swing? Well, ain't that slick? Neat and clean. Wait till it's painted. You won't even see the bracket. There's room above my knee even when the seat is tilted forward. An upcoming pimp will raise the joystick another 1/4 inch. Better control and no more stiff wrist for me. Still swings. Still drives. Bye-bye. I want to carry stuff on my chair, like a laptop. Test drive rained out. Had the chair for 15 minutes. It's time to make it mine. I can't reach a backpack hanging behind my seat. Need something better. The mount for this bag was made a month ago. You can find a web page about it at wheelchairghost.com. Installation is simple. Stuff it full of junk. Small Windows laptop. Cell phone. Laptop wall adapter. Pocket tripod. Photosphere camera and lots of room left over. Your junk may vary. I've got 2 dash cams, but they don't record usable sound. Let's make a bracket to mount a GoPro camera. A piece of aluminum should be easy to cut and drill and file. Feel free to modify my design to suit what you want mounted on your chair. It's a 1/4 inch thick to make room for this countersink. It needs 2 screws and nuts to mount it to the armrest rail. A hacksaw drills countersink a couple of different files, got the bracket out of the metal. Here's the countersunk screw. That's a GoPro mount. To use that cage, it must be a GoPro session camera. Okay, assembled. Just need the camera. Imagine what you want and where you want it. Design a simple bracket to do the job. If it were a couple inches longer, this bracket can mount the camera above and in front of the armrest. Or maybe a drink holder. Hey, problem solved. It would be nice if the chair battery powered my toys. This could be done really cheap. What would you do with a power port? If you need a power port, the factory would have put it on the chair, right? Did they put 6 high-power USB ports on the chair? The factory USB port won't even run this little thing. 24 volts could be converted to 12 volts. Keep your Starbucks hot. Keep your toes warm. Screw Starbucks. Make your own. Fish need light to see the bait at night. Street vendor in a wheelchair? Selling smoothies? Call the smoothie customers and make ears bleed. Paint graffiti faster than anyone on your crew. Power ports are available in different types. I have 45 years experience. Don't do anything if you're not qualified. Covers removed. Mistakes are easy. Double check voltage to be certain you're connecting to the right location. Connect the negative and route the wire. This doesn't demonstrate every location, but it needs plenty of zip ties. Connect the positive. Route the wire along the path of the chair wiring. Lots of zip ties. Reinstall the covers. Continue wire routing under the seat pan. The only question is where and how do I need it mounted? I'm going to stick it under the armrest for a moment to demonstrate how simple this could be. But there's a bigger plan for this wiring job. $15 for the power port and $15 for 6 high-power USB ports seems reasonable to me. Don't plug anything into this power port unless you're certain it's designed for 24 volts. Unplug the USB adapter and plug in 24-volt appliances. How sweet it is. I'm doing something more advanced with that power port. It's going to power 12-volt DC stuff and provide a 120-volt AC outlet. Let's see what's inside this box. A 150-watt inverter, held in place by a strip of plumber's tape. 120-volt AC outlet, 2 high-power USB outlets, main power toggle switch. This voltage converter makes 12 volts from the 24-volt wheelchair battery. Terminal strips make it easy to power anything I put on the chair. 2 more toggle switches, one turns off the inverter. The small power box for my M3 is this much smaller. It doesn't have the inverter and 120-volt AC outlet. The Navy badge is optional. Permobil gave it to me with the chair. Tweety is not optional. It's pimping time. The box is attached to the seat rail. Make it tight. Getting under the seat is easy on a standing chair. Move the power cord from the armrest to the power box. Connect battery voltage to the voltage converter. Now the fun part. Grab a lamp off the table and plug it in. There's a slight delay turning on while the inverter starts. Install the cover and put everything back together. Wheelchairs and cans of spray paint? It's okay if one of them rattles. My fantastic new chair came with rattle brackets. The new brackets look like this. And here's the old version. The new brackets will help if you have trouble removing or installing the old system. The old style is more rigid, but harder to operate. The old style feels like a part of the chair. The pads do double duty. I also use them as transfer handles. They need to be solid. Permobil is the best, but I don't have to love everything they do. I don't like the new mounting brackets because they wiggle and rattle. It's 18 hours old, so it's time to pimp my chair. Again. Remove the new style and install the old style. Transfer the new pads to the old style hardware. Reinstall the cover. Later I'll adjust the pad position when I'm sitting in the chair. Got to change the other side first. Much better. No more rattle. Just like the pad brackets, the new style headrest mount is loose and rattles. The old style is solid. There's no rattle. It's easy to lock. Maybe pliers would lock the new style headrest. It might break if you try that. Tight as can be, the headrest rattles and pulls out easily. The old style is slightly more adjustable and it holds position better. The new style takes less of a bump against an object to push the headrest out of position. The winner is new pad on the old mounting hardware. This will work nicely. Go to wheelchairghost.com for more details about my wheelchair hatchet jobs. It's all free!